What's going on, guys? It's Danny from Slow Restoration, and today we have a 2011 GMC Yukon XL. This is actually a Denali, but it should be the same on most, pretty much all the GMT 900s, and probably the 800s, and maybe even further back is going to be very similar. Not exactly the same, but like I said, this is a 2011, and we are replacing the axle seals. So the national oil seal number is right there, 4762N. And if you look, here's our symptoms. You can see in there it's actually weeping. When I was doing a brake job, when I pulled the rotors off, it had slung and it actually wore the inside pad out. Chances are it was seeping down on that and causing some issues. So we got new rotors, new pads to go on, but we definitely have to replace the seals. And if you're doing one side, doing all the trouble to do one side, just go ahead and do the second side, because it's not very much work and these seals aren't crazy expensive. Keep you from going back into it again. So first step is obviously get it up in the air, get the wheel off, get your brake system off. So you have a caliper mounting bracket that comes off with 2 bolts, and this particular one is a, what is it, 18 millimeter, and this side is a 13 millimeter for the caliper mounting, and then the caliper mounting bracket is at 18 millimeter. Once you get that off out of the way, then the rotor just slips off, gives you access to what we see right here. To get this axle out, this is a C-clip axle, so we have to actually go inside the differential here. As you can see there, we got it drained, got the cover off. It's 10-bolt cover, pretty easy, self-explanatory to pull that off. Obviously, you're going to need a drain pan. So you will be servicing the differential at the same time, so we'll get all this cleaned up. It does have a reusable rubber shim gasket, which is pretty nice. I'll get some light on here. So in order to get these C-clips out, we will take an 8 millimeter socket. There's right here's your through bolt pin, holds your spider gears in, but it keeps your axle from pushing in to get that C-clip out. So we do have to remove this 8 millimeter and then slide that pin out towards us, and try not to disturb your spider gears. This particular one does have the G80 gov lock. So if I take and move my light, so there's the mechanism right there for that G80 gov lock. And this thing does have 230 some odd thousand miles on it. So it's time to do this kind of stuff. But we have it in neutral. We'll be able to roll this differential around, like I said, to be able to access that. So we'll back this out, get the pin out, and then we're going to carefully rotate this around because the gov lock is actually in the way of getting to the C-clips, but the top part of the carrier is open so we can get those out. These bolts can be kind of sticky. There is a Loctite on them, so we'll get that to slip out. Now, it's got a shoulder on it, so the threads are actually out here. All right, so we have that unthreaded. We'll go ahead and pull that out. Make sure your pin doesn't slide out towards you. This one does have some wear on it, but if we come over here, you can see the threads are over by the hex, and then there's a shoulder on it that goes through that pin. We can see some wear on there, so it wouldn't be a horrible idea to replace this. These can break, and that makes a giant mess inside the differential. Now, this pin is now loose. If we push on it, you can see it starts to slide. And that's holding your spider gears from moving around in there right now. And like I said, the bottom of this with the G80, with the gov lock mechanism, is blocking our entrance into the C-clips. So we're gonna actually make sure that pin doesn't slide all the way out. It keeps everything lined up, and we're gonna spin this around. And we can do that by just reaching up and spinning the drive shaft. Now sometimes these pins just go nice and slow. If that happens to slip out, we'll stop and regroup. Sometimes they're looser than others, but there's a good picture of the gov lock, which some people hate. some people love. This one has 230,000 on it and it's still in good shape and works, so they're not all that bad. And then as we come around to this side, we can see that that is open. So this seems kind of drastic, but like I said, there is C-clips in here, and that's what holds this axle from coming out. So without going internal here, there's no way you're going to get this axle out unless you break the end of the axle off. You don't want to do that. So the easiest way to do this is rotate this around to this pin can come down and just miss the bottom of the housing here. So we have that lined up. So we actually just hit there, so we'll have to go a tiny bit more, just enough for that. See if I can hold this up and spin that gently. Right there. Yep, we have enough room. That pin will now come straight out. So it's going to be kind of hard to show you now. If I come up here, with that pin out of the way, we can actually take and slip the axle in. You can see that one in, out, all the way in, and you're going to want a little pen magnet. We can kind of reach through. Sometimes it takes a little finagling, but we can actually grab that C-clip and slip it out through that access spot. Let me work on this axle. Sometimes you do have to tap them. They get some buildup. You might have to tap it in a tiny bit, nice and gentle like. Again, try not to move this stuff around. You don't want to lose your spiders and your shims. So it does take a little finagling, but as you can see, we got that C-clip out. That's what it looks like. And now our axle will slip straight out. Again, don't spin that. You don't want to disturb your spider gears. We still have to get that C-clip out. And if you look in there as I push the axle, you can see that axle pushing in. We'll have to get that lined up because something's keeping that from going all the way over. But that block does move around a little bit too. And we'll clean all that up as we go. Both of those C-clips out. Now we can actually take our axle here, and I'll show you what it's going to do. You can see that moving. Again, there's probably going to be a little burr on there, so you might have to pry the axle or move it back and forth a little bit to get it to slide past where it normally lives. And once we gently pry on this axle, then we can just kind of slip it out here. We'll get a rag because this is all going to be greasy. And it's gear lube. If this was smell-o-vision, you would definitely smell this. We'll take it and set that down. And you can see right at the end there, that's where that C-clip lives. And that's what keeps the axle from coming out. Right there's your splines that interlock into that spider gears. If we go back up top here, right here's our seal in question. There is a bearing inside, but bearings are fine. They run in oil. They weren't wore out. You can see that seal's seen better days and it's definitely been seeping. So let's get that seal out. First, we'll compare our new seal and make sure it matches up. So there's our new seal. You can see how it goes in. It's got a shoulder there, and on the end of the axle housing here, it overlaps it. So we'll be able to pry that out. Be careful putting this back in because there is a spring inside that creates tension on that lip. It's the old seal. As I took it out, you can see how I did. I just kind of worked my way around on that shoulder and it came out super easy after that. So we went ahead and installed the new seal, and obviously you want to drive it all the way till it bottoms out on that outside shoulder. And we're ready for the axle to go back in. I will take some gear lube and just put some fresh gear lube in that bearing and lubricate the seal there and slide our axles back in. Obviously you want to be careful not to damage that new seal, and you always want to inspect everything as you're taking it apart. So right here's where the seal actually rides, that kind of shiny spot. Sometimes the axle will wear out there and it's not going to seal up. This one's got a tiny bit of wear, but really not bad at all. So no big issues with that. We have this side seal replace axle slid back in too. And if you can look inside there, we're actually, this axle is just about far enough in for that C-clip. So we'll finish getting that in, put the C-clip in. Once you put the C-clip in, let me grab one, I'll show you. So once that axle's far enough in, we'll actually take our C-clip, push it through, and it'll kind of pop in there. And it'll lay there, then you can grab your axle and slip it out. And that locks that C-clip into your side spider gear. Now your axle's secure there. We'll do the same thing with the other side and we'll be ready to replace that cross pin. And with that rotated back around, we have our cross pin all cleaned up, inspected. Again, it has a tiny bit of wear, but definitely usable. We'll start that in there. You can see it's not going all the way in, so we'll grab one of our axles and just gently move that side to side. As we were working those C-clips out, everything came out of alignment, but this will line everything right back up. And now with that line back up, we'll just slip this shaft all the way back in. Almost there. We got a tiny, there it goes. Sometimes just moving in and out makes it go. So we'll line that up, and obviously there's a hole drilled in the end where that bolt goes through, so that needs to line up. We'll get our bolt, clean all that up good, and we'll put some new red Loctite on there. So our pin lined back up, some Loctite on that bolt, put that back in. We'll run it back in there and torque that down to spec, which is 26 foot-pounds. And you might have to hold that from spinning, but we'll go ahead and hold that and torque that down. We'll be done in here, so we'll clean up everything, clean up the differential cover and gasket, reuse the gasket, and we'll be ready to refill. And that'll be our axle seals. Obviously the emergency brake shoes did get contaminated, so they should be replaced. And then we'll continue on with our brake job. But as far as axle seals, besides putting the brakes back together, which we can't do yet because we're going to do a complete brake job, that's all there is to it. You do get a little bit messy, but it's doable. You could do this easily in your driveway. Just to catch you guys up real quick on the garage progress, we got a lot of electrical done. Need to neaten up all that. A lot of insulation done and some drywall work done. So we've been very busy. I was sick for a while. We had some issues in the house, doing all this work and trying to keep up on other stuff too. Just wasn't able to make so many videos, but we'll have some rolling out here soon. We got our steps going up to upstairs and just a lot of work going on. We have some drywall all the way down here. All this is insulated now. All the electrical is roughed in. We have our boiler hanging on the wall still. All the electrical is roughed into it. I have to hook that up, and then we have to hook from the boiler itself down to the manifold and the floor heat. All that's going to happen here real soon, and we'll get some heat in there finally. So that's what we've been up to. So thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.